Two teams here, each off to 1-0 starts as this one is underway on EA Sports. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And he'll be out of bounds at midfield, so a solid return to the 50.
Not only was it a terrific return to get them out near the 50-yard line, that changes what you want to do on offense because your playbook is wide open. You want a quick start? You may go for a quick strike on your first play on offense with that great field position.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. A first carry now for Nick Chubb. And some room to run now. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him, but don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
When they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down.
Now, nobody leaked. Big play. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. The Browns at 1-0 on the year following the win in Week 1, and they were able to get that road victory in the opener, and now they look to get to 2-0 in front of the home crowd.
And look, any road win in the NFL, that's huge. But when you do it Week 1, that gets you pointed in the right direction and sends notice to the rest of the league that you mean business.
Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, C.J. Mosley. And the Jets will have the football as this is taken up past the 30. Not something you see very often from a quarterback of his caliber, an opening drive interception.
Oh, there's no doubt in my mind that even he's surprised at how that one played out. But we know this guy is not going to stop him from continuing to fire as this game goes along. Probably give a little nod of respect across the field for that one and let him know he'll be back the very next series.
Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Well, this defense for the Browns, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
They'll run with Hall. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. Well, after an interception, last thing you want to do is go 3 and out, give the ball right back. They avoided that.
Yeah, you definitely do not want to do that. I remember in college I played with a really big-time player on defense. We ended up getting an interception as we passed the offense coming out. He told him, if you don't take care of this football, you'll have to answer to me later. You definitely want to take care of it, pick up first downs.
And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
The general manager of the New York Jets continues to make investments in the receiver room in this draft. 10th overall pick. They invested again, this time with Garrett Wilson out of Ohio State. Great speed, outstanding body control, really goes up and snatches the ball out of the air. Everything that you're looking for in a WR1. He gets the first down right there.
And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Now that's a heck of a moment for your first sack of the game, because if this long drive ends without a touchdown because of that sack, we're going to look back and say that might be one of the biggest plays of this contest.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Against a team coming off a win just as your team did the previous week, you talk about being physical all game long. Sometimes being physical is just being on the spot and helping force the incompletion.
On is the punter man as he boots this one away. He'll return it from the 6. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And their opening drive, that ended with the interception.
Points, and because they kind of got away with one, maybe you come back and throw something similar again to show that you're not afraid, that you're not going to back down, and take your shot. Let the defense know that you're going to be there all game long.
Watson now to throw. It's caught. Beckham. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
Looking for Cooper, and it's intercepted. Sauce Gardner picks it off. And they'll be at the 18-yard line. Great field position here in the red zone. Well, we saw plenty of that during his much-heralded college career. He parlayed that into becoming a first-round selection. And now here he is making interceptions in the National Football League.
And this is a guy that has all the physical tools, but the thing that sets him apart is what he's got between his ears. And that's the sixth sense for knowing where the football is going. Just an excellent play there to create the turnover.
Flush. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. In for the sack, Myles Garrett.
Well, that's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
And bringing it in, it's Davis. And they're going to get this down inside the 15.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
On 3rd down, Wilson. They'll set up the screen for Hall. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd.
And this pass rush has really been bringing the heat and has already gotten home a few times here in the first half. So how about the play call there? Sometimes if you can't protect, you've got to fool them. Screen passes like that take a little steam out of what's been a relentless rush so far.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's touchdown. C.J. Uzomah, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Jets use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. Zerline good with a PAT, and that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. Taken at the goal line. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The Browns drive about to get started. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Watson. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
As a linebacker, you're taught to stay just slightly behind the ball carrier just in case he makes a cutback. But when you find the gap, shoot it. And he found it all right. Took it straight into the backfield and made the tackle for a loss.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived. And I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. He'll get this one underneath to Hunt. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
I'm not sure that was necessarily a safety valve or a check down throw on 3rd down. Sometimes just try and find the open guy and get him the ball. He did exactly that and found a way to pick up a 1st down.
Now they return to the ground game. Chubb. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Now a play fake, and it's Watson. Steps away. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. It's a loss of a yard, so they'll wind up crediting him with a sack, and it brings up 3rd down. He's certainly one of those quarterbacks that can burn you with his mobility, but that time able to hem him in and get him to the ground.
Perfect descriptor right there about how they kept him in the pocket. Excellent job of containment, but they were still able to continue to bring such strong pressure without letting him escape. But how about those guys in the secondary as well? Kept the coverage tight, plastered to the receivers.
And now Watson throws another interception. Picked up by Jordan Whitehead. And the Jets will take over here just shy of the 30. Well, I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you throw this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
Buying time to his left. And this one is incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Greg Newsome. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. That, Charles, the first interception he's thrown here in year number 2.
And I know it's just the first one, but didn't it feel like what we saw from him last year, where he was plagued by this type of a play? And they thought that, you know, over the offseason, going into a second season, some of that would go away. Thus far, still looks a lot like his rookie year.
Trying to shake off the interception, he'll look to throw. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Thought he had the pick. Flag comes in for PI, so cancel it out.
Interference. Oh, a killer for them. Thought they had a nice play. Instead, they'll be marching off yardage against them.
A give running right is Chubb. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. 43 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's...
They'll run with Chubb. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb, his second rushing touchdown on the year. And the Browns are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. Extra point by York is up and good. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This take it in at the goal line. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Coming up now to start their next drive. They had the interception last drive, led to the tying touchdown. So 7-7 the score as they begin 1st and 10. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like.
Meanwhile, Wilson's throw complete there to Moore. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They go play action with Wilson. He's going to look deep for Moore. He's got it at the 15. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Elijah Moore, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Jets have taken the lead. Zerline connects on the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. Round 7. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Cleveland offense ready to go. They trail a 1-score deficit, 14-7, as they come up 1st and 10. They'll start with Hunt on the ground, and not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
On 2nd and 9, Watson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Jordan Whitehead. And he is not quite going to make it all the way in. They'll mark him down right about the 1-yard line. So that changes things. You get the interception, and then to boot, a good return tacked on.
And really it was down to him versus the quarterback on the return, and that's one you would think the defender would win. But a nice job there of seeing the play all the way to the end and making the tackle by the QB.
After the interception, here's Wilson. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. No gain on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and goal.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far, they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. Oh, how about this call down near the goal line? And he is in. Touchdown, New York. Elijah Moore. His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Jets are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Zerline good with a PAT. And it's now 21-7. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. From the 10. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And they'll have very good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. The Browns drive about to get started. Well, still early in this one, Charles, but the last time this offense was out there, they threw their first interception of the ball game, so trying to avoid repeating that mistake here on this drive.
And to put a positive spin on it, at least it happened in the first half and not in a close game in the 4th quarter. But you're absolutely right, partner. One of the last things this offensive quarterback wants to witness again in this game.
Kind of an obvious question, Charles, but anything you try to avoid after your first pick, or you say it's 1 interception, we're still in the first half, I'm about to do the same thing?
I think you want to avoid playing scared, and put it into the mind of the quarterback that you've lost confidence in him. Make sure you get some throws that he's going to be able to complete, make him feel good about himself, and continue to run your offense.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. Now it's Watson. Flushed out right. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first. Handoff up the middle. Hunt. Some extra space following the display of power. Down just inside the 45. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Watson on first down. And boy, another ill-advised throw there as that will wind up incomplete. I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
He'll get it inside the 20, and they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. 36 yards on the play. This is first and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. They'll give it to Chubb, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Nick Chubb with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Browns get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. So his strong first half continues as he finds the end zone here for the 2nd time.
And definitely good blocking at the point of attack, and you just have to love watching the way he can create space down near the goal line, and he's able to take it into the end zone.
Extra point by York is up and good. And they're back within a touchdown at 21-14. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. Braxton Berrios now from his end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Cost him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that could change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half. It'll be real interesting to take a look at this play later because on this pitch toss play, I get the sense that he just followed the pulling guard or the pulling offensive lineman through that hole and spilled this play early.
Yeah, because he didn't even get to the outer third of the field. He was tackled in the middle third.
Yeah, when you're talking about a pitch or a toss tackled there, that means they read it fast and diagnosed it and knocked him down in a hurry.
The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. This time they stay on the ground. And they will bottle him up behind the line, and now will they use a timeout? And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with fourth down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away.
The Browns take over first and 10 at their own 32-yard line.
The final shot before the break. Watson. And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Jets on top as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. And the Jets set to receive this third quarter kickoff, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in the second half. Berrios now from his end zone. And he returns this to the 22. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember in that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well. And most importantly, partner,
and they went to the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half.
They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. From the gun, it's Wilson. And that will be incomplete. Well, that's when this Cleveland crowd, the dog pound in particular, make it difficult on opposing offenses. It looked like they might have had troubles communicating at the line, and it leads to the incompletion. So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time, and that will come the offense as they take over. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking, my replacement may get an opportunity.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally. Or maybe I just need to get out of the game for a while because I just can't slow these guys down. They've got to figure out a way to disrupt these offenses. And typically, one guy makes a big play, and that can help change things.
They'll be looking for disruption on both sides right now. John Franklin Myers able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon. Following that sack, Watson and the Browns backed up for a third and long. Back to throw. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. And out across midfield down to the 45. The defense shaking their heads, not aggressive enough, and they allow him to convert a 3rd and 18.
And that's well executed there on third down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
And a good job of just fighting through one tackle there to pick up about 3. Second down coming up. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods. The goal is certainly to try and make a big play happen and climb back into this game, but you have to be careful. If you overdo it, you could turn it over and hurt your team.
And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on third down. Back to throw, Watson. And that's caught by the tight end, Bryant. And he is going to have the Browns first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Running with Hunt here out of the shotgun. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. That good for 19 and a first down. I don't know what this says about me, but I love successful runs up the middle when the blocking is so well executed like that.
And it doesn't matter whether it's zone blocking, whether it's a power scheme. When you have a blocker on a defender and the running back can read it, find the proper hole, and just go, sometimes a thing of beauty.
67 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
They run it again with Chubb. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb, a 6-yard touchdown run. And the Browns are an extra point away from evening this one up. Extra point by York is up and good. And we are tied at 21. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. We got a brand new ball game, all even after that last touchdown, so every drive now becoming a little more critical here in the second half. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. To throw is Wilson. Eluding the pressure right. Open man here is Coughlin. And he's got some space here. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line. And CD, we have seen some great runs the last few times we've been together, but I think we can at least put this one in our top 5. That was a determined gallop there. From the red zone now, here's Wilson on first down. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it, and it's second down.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line.
With all the success they've had throwing the football as a pass rusher, you know you got to come hard when you see him drop back to throw. So I really like this call to counteract that pass rush with a screen. It turns into positive yardage. A lot of times the offense says, just replace the rusher with the ball, and it turns into a good play.
And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. Breece Hall with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Jets are going to take the lead. Zerline now for the PAT. And it's good. That makes it a 28-21 game.
Makes the score Jets 28, Browns 21.
Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Browns drive about to get started. And that last touchdown drive, a good mix of pass and run. Defensively, they just looked a little out of whack.
And it's so hard to stay up with an offense that has things going so well, where you're guessing and guessing wrong play after play. So what you need is someone on the defensive side of the ball to make a big play. Throw that balance out of whack. That's what you're looking for now. Not worrying so much about guessing what the play call is.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. And he will find his man Schwartz. That's complete. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
On first down, it's Watson, escaping the pressure right. He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack. The former 3rd overall pick, Quinnen Williams, there to bring him down. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. Gotta imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Here's Watson. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Got a man here, it's Bryant. They'll wind up with 17 on that one, but they're still a bit short here for 4th. They'll try and run for it. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. And the drive stays in motion with a nice 8-yard pickup on 4th.
So did you suspect the same thing that I did, that they were lining up just to draw them off sides here?
100%.
Well, how about that? They were going for it the entire time. Never a question in his mind about going ahead and getting it, despite where they were on the field.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard it in my voice when they snapped the ball. I was like, oh, I almost wasn't ready to call the play. I just kept waiting for the timeout off. And now here's another interception. Picked up by Jordan Whitehead. And the Jets are going to take over here on the INT at their own 5-yard line. Yes, folks, that is his 3rd interception, and I'm going to use one of the most overused phrases in football. He's a ball-hawking safety.
I love the way that you called for the shot there. That's perfect, though, because there is something to that. Being a safety often allows you freedom to roam around a defense, maybe not a specific assignment. Today, his assignment, find the football, and he's done so quite well.
Myles Garrett showing that athleticism as he gets in to make the play. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
59 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation when they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back, and they're going to get this up to midfield. But he's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
Off the play fake, here's Wilson. Open man is Uzama. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. On third down, Wilson. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Anthony Walker. And they will finally put an end to the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
31.
On first down, they'll run with Hunt. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
That's good power football on first and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
Second and goal from inside the 5. Chubb will get about halfway there as he takes this from the 4 down to the 2.
Well, they made the play there, and I'll guarantee you their coaches and the other players are screaming at them about their pride. Come on, guys. He's only gotten in 3 times. You can't give up a 4th one. And on that play, they were able to make the stop.
And you knew they were going to go to him to try to get that 4th.
And why wouldn't they? It's not just getting the 4th. He's the hot hand, so to speak, right? The hot feet in this situation. And he knows how to find the end zone. That time, he just didn't get there.
Desperation time. Watson on 4th down. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Amari Cooper from 4 yards out. And the Browns are an extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter. So right back to square one, tied at 28 as he kicks it away. This fielded right at the goal line. And he takes this near the 25, just a little pass there, call it the 26. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this 4th quarter to try to grab that lead back. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has now received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Grant Delpit. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Well, we say it often, Charles, but not all interceptions are created equally, and that is a big one here in a tie ball game in the 4th quarter.
And, Brandon, when games are this close, it usually comes down to the team making the fewest mistakes, and that was one of our mantras back at Tennessee. Coach Mears used to say all the time, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. You've got to cut those down to give yourself an opportunity.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And again, it's Chubb. And he's going to get this down close to a first at about the Jets' 21. 81 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides. Watson. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, C.J. Mosley. And the Jetsons are going to take over at their own 28-yard line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And the question, can they turn that interception into points? A tie game for the moment in the 4th quarter. Now Hall to start the drive. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. Getting down to the good stuff, all tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports.
Okay, ready?
On 2nd and 1, Wilson. And check down, complete to Hall. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another 1st down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. I guess you can't be afraid to take those chances late in the game. He tried to fit that one in there. Nice job, though, defensively.
But to your point, it was a nice job knocking the ball away. But you're also right. You can't be afraid to take those chances. That means your guys going downfield to catch the ball, they've got to elevate their game and come down with these in order to keep your offense moving.
Now Wilson. Uncorks one for Davis. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Here's the Jets punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Taken in at the 11. Nice punt, but good work on the return to get back 11 yards. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Cleveland offense ready to go. Well, partner, here it is. They've got the chance to win the game. You'd have to think they need to get it near the opposite 40 to have a chance to kick a game-winning field goal. We'll see what they can do.
And you're right about that, because if we look at it in macro, that's what it looks like. But I think in micro, the head coach has already asked the special teams coach, what is he feeling? What does he think? Where does he want the football? What's the yard line we have to get? And he's already relayed that to us.
And this is going to be intercepted. Sauce Gardner picks it off. And they will finally get him down as he's all the way to the 36-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now.
And that's a touchdown as they've broken our tie here in the final minute of the 4th.
I don't know how many more of these my heart can take, my man. I just don't know. Another big touchdown late in the game. They look like they're in control, but still, There's a chance. Block the extra point, go down and score, kick the extra point themselves. They can pull this one out.
Yeah, but also on the sideline that just took the lead, you got to get your defense ready and the special teams unit for the kickoff coming up.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Got to pull everyone together and make sure they're still focused and aren't already celebrating a win.
Zerline connects on the extra point, and they will take a 7-point lead. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, we were having a tough patch. This too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you've got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. Watson to throw. Complete to Bryant. And he'll get him a first down up past the 40 as the clock ticks on. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. Now the Jets going to use the second of their. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play.
Set.
Here's Watson. And he completes it to Hunt. He's got room at the 30. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Watson. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he is across and in for the score. And now they can tie the game in the final stages with the extra point.
Or they can go for 2 and go for the win.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And we may very well be headed to overtime. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this fourth quarter. Taken at the goal line. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And Charles, obviously not much time left. I'm curious to see if there's enough for them to get into field goal range and try to win this thing.
And partner, you and I both know the save calls to kneel and just take it into overtime. But it's also very tough to pass up a chance to win it right now as well. But remember, if you do attempt that, it's got to be a big play downfield and still leave the unit out there and kick for the win.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Wilson to throw. And he'll get this into the hands of Braxton Berrios. And we have free football. Overtime. Here we go, my friend. And here in overtime, If the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. And everyone knows the OT rules, Charles, but pretty simple formula. They go down and get a field goal, we continue play, but if they can find the end zone on this possession, ball game over.
And as meticulously as all teams plan for a game, I don't doubt for a second on that offense coordinator's play sheet, he's got some overtime plays that he wants to run. I know it sounds crazy, but they plan for everything. 1st and 10 all the way throughout the game, 2nd and 7, whatever. Right now, he's looking at that play sheet saying, if we get to overtime, what can we break out that they haven't seen?
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17. That last throw, Charles, puts him over 15,000 yards passing now for his career.
And, Brandon, they're not going to stop the game and give him the game ball here, but that's still a pretty impressive number, and he's got plenty of more good football ahead of him. Although I would say the team should give him a game ball after it's all over.
So that'll be no better than an incompletion, and it's 2nd down. I don't want to overhype it, but this is a big early season game, especially an overtime win. That could give you a big boost going forward in the season.
It certainly can, and I don't think you're overhyping it because cliches go out the window when you start to play overtime. And you're right, the winner of this game now, that's an extra boost moving forward, and it actually is an extra hurt for the team that loses because normally you shake it off, but in this situation, it lingers a little bit longer. Well, partner, I think the defensive fellas got the memo, and they decided to cover him on that play.
Yeah, he's already up over 100 yards in this game. They tried a deep shot, couldn't get him.
Yeah, when you've had that much success, finally someone said, let's try and put a stop to it and put people on him.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And this is caught. Amari Cooper. And that's going to be another 1st down as the tackle made at the Jets' 44-yard line. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Now Chubb running right. Down to the 42, 2nd down. With that last effort, he topples the 5,000-yard mark for his career.
And that doesn't place you among the absolute greats that have ever played the game, but it's a significant achievement and a very, very solid career.
Watson off play action. Oh, and it's intercepted. LaMarcus Joyner with a pick. And the Jets are going to have it with a chance to win the game here in overtime. Boy, that's a tough one right there, CD. They fought back to tie it, to send it to overtime, had all the momentum, and then that interception.
That fighting spirit, those fighting plays that got them back into it, maybe a little too aggressive there, throwing the interception, and now they've opened the door to get beat by a field goal coming back the other way.
First throw in overtime now for Wilson. He sets to fire deep. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. That's good for a Jet 1st down, a gain of 13. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that would look like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. 2nd and 11.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
On second down, a run with Hall. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
On a second and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on third down.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
So it'll all come down to the booming right leg of Greg Zuerlein. This to win it in overtime. And he got it. The kick is good in overtime. He's able to split the uprights. And the city will be alive tonight. The Jets have won it. Well, things started off exciting. This one had a high-scoring first half, and nobody let their foot off the gas in the second half either, Charles. And, you know, for them, a really nice victory in a high-scoring output.